Welcome back, guys. You guys asked for it, so we're gonna try to do it. It's still Friday though. So let's get after it. What is going on, everybody? Thanks for coming back. If you're back after the random coin mining show and Brandon coin and all that stuff, we talked about this. Kind of wanted to do a GRIN, an all encompassing GRIN show, where we will probably. I am not great with Linux, so we're gonna stumble through this. This is gonna be fun, but it's gonna be kind of it's gonna be one of those things where I don't know. I'm hoping that we can get through it without too many problems, but we will see. But basically, we're gonna go over what I think we should go over is the VirtualBox, Oracle VirtualBox, because you have to have a Linux box up and running to do the node and the wallet. And then we can also cover mining, which I'm mining it with SimpliMining OS and HiveOS. So you never know. I mean, we can cover all of that. I hope that things don't take too long, but remember, if we're doing this live, So like for example, setting up the virtual machine is going to take some time, because you've got technically we would have to download an image, but I already have the images and stuff. So, but I'll show you basically where to go and get the images and things like that. So I'm going to switch over to desktop, and we will begin. I think we'll just start with going over the node, setting up a node. Well, actually, setting up the virtual machine will be first, because that's the very first thing you have to do. So let's start with that. Get rid of this second screen there. Basically, if you just go to grin-tech.org, pretty much that's the starting point for everything, right? There are a lot of guides out there. There's a lot of information. So, again, you probably want to do your own homework on this and figure out a good source of information. I stumbled around a lot with the wallet. CryptoZ helped me a lot with that, from the aeonpool.tech. I think I'm saying that right. So he helped me with that. I think I got it up and running, but there was some weird things that happened. I don't know if I'm able to send GRIN coin back and forth yet or not. But right now, all my coins are out on Poolside still. I was kind of looking forward to maybe having a Windows wallet by now. I'm sure that they're working on it. If I was to guess, I would say that they're pretty close, but I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. A Windows wallet would be super. If they would get that developed and released. So, kind of waiting on that. If too much time passes, I will want to pull my coins off of the pool. They're on Spark Pool right now. So I'm probably going to want to get those off of there pretty soon. So, yeah. I'll either do it with the node and the wallet, or wait on the Windows wallet if we get any information as far as like how long it's going to take before the Windows wallet's released, because I have no idea. I haven't heard anything about it. So, but man, it would be so nice to have a easy, simple Windows wallet, even if it's a desktop QT type wallet. I'm down with that. Whatever, as long as it's a little bit more user friendly, because having it all Linux based and node and wallet and all that command line stuff is not good for adoption, right? Now I understand that it's Mimblewimble and it's brand new and all that stuff. I get it, but still, having adoption for something, you don't really want to have people to have to have to go through setting up a virtual machine and stuff. So just my opinion, but anyway, all right, so let's go ahead and kind of get started. The first thing that you basically what I kind of intended on doing was going to grintech.org and then clicking on get started, right? Like that. And then this kind of runs you through the starter guides. You got setting up a GRIN node, you've got setting up a GRIN wallet, and then how to mine it, right? So we will just go ahead and click on how to run a GRIN node. And I think that this does not, yeah, this one doesn't really go through. This assumes that you have a Linux box running. So if you think about it from a mining perspective, I mean, most people use Windows, so this isn't a good assumption that we're going to just be able to fire up a Linux box, right? Ubuntu or whatever. So let's roll back a little bit, and we're going to actually go to install what's called Oracle VirtualBox, and that is a virtual machine environment so that we can grab the Ubuntu software and install a virtual machine so that we can do all this stuff right here, because I don't think that this page actually covers it. It doesn't. It just assumes that you already have Ubuntu running, right? So the first thing we'll do is we will head over to, let's just go to Google. I'll just do it, we'll just do it raw, okay? We know that we need Oracle VirtualBox. That's the software that we need. So let's search for that. Then we're going to go to click on it to go into it, right? And I think we'll go to downloads, and then we're on a Windows box, so we're going to choose Windows host, and it wants to download it. Okay, that's great. I've already done it. I already have it installed and stuff, but we'll go ahead and download it. It's not too large. Yeah, 209 meg. So we'll go ahead and download that, and then if you run it, you basically, I believe that you can literally just choose all of the defaults. So once you download it to your downloads folder, let me clean this up a little bit here, and I'll show you what I got here. Alright, so you'll have a file like this, you know, that's in your downloads folder typically by default. You'll just right click, run as administrator, and then install it, and just install it with all of the defaults, if I remember right. I don't think that there's anything weird in there that you have to choose. Then after you run it, it will look like this, but you won't have any machines in here yet. It'll be blank, okay? So the next step is to, once you get up and running like this, looking at it like this, I would check your settings too. Let's go and we will see. I think that some of these settings might actually be in the initial setup. So as you're going through it, make sure you assign an adequate number of processors. You know, I've got a quad core, so it's a little bit older CPU. So I have, but I assigned 4 to the virtual machine so that it just totally shares the processor power with the virtual machine and the actual machine that's running here. So, and then give it enough memory. There are some recommendations in here. I want to say that it goes to 4 meg or 4 gig by default. So you'll want to probably go to 8 gig memory, and so just remember that as you're setting it up. And if it goes through that process during setup, I would say it's fine if you choose it, but you can always come in here and change it anyway, so it's not a big deal. So there you go. All right. I'm not looking at the chat or anything. I've got some other stuff up here, so I don't know if anybody's talking or not. I'm just gonna blast right through this. All right, so what you'll do, you'll have a blank screen again. There won't be any virtual machines in here. The next thing that you kind of have to do is go and get the version of Ubuntu that you want, and you can use either, I think you can use either was it 1810 or 1804. You can use either one of those, probably even 1604 if you wanted. But I chose 1804, and I think you can just go to ubuntu.com to grab those. I already have them downloaded as well. So you go to ubuntu.com, download, and then usually you would grab the LTS versions. So in this case, I would grab 1804 LTS desktop, right? Not the server version. So I'd grab this one right here, click on that. It's probably going to take you to, yeah, like a download page here, and then it's going to want to download it. Now I've already done that, so we don't have to go through that. But just remember that wherever you download it to, it's an ISO, so it's the actual install files. So just remember where you put it so that you can point the Oracle Virtual Desktop to that location whenever you're installing it. So let's go over here and let's pretend like we just downloaded that from Ubuntu, right? Go ahead and get out of here. And then we're going to go new. We'll give it a name. I'm going to call it GRIN YouTube. And for type, now this is just creating a virtual machine. That's all we're doing. All right. And I don't know how long this takes. I don't think it's very slow, so we should be okay. I'll try to talk about something else while it's loading or whatever. But you'll choose Linux for the type, and the version is Ubuntu 64-bit. Make sure you choose 64-bit because I believe that the software, all the GRIN software, is all 64-bit. So I don't think it'll even work on 32. Then you choose next, and then here's where you set up the memory. I would give it 8 gig, something like that. Now it all depends on how much memory you already have, right? This machine's got 16 gig in it, so I'll give it half, and then next here, and then we're going to create a virtual hard disk. It's recommending 10 gig, but remember we've got to grab the whole blockchain, and it's going to grow in size. So I believe that there's a virtual, like it's a dynamic disk, so it'll actually expand as needed. So we're going to choose create a virtual disk now, and then create. We're going to leave this as the default, which is VirtualBox disk image, and then next. And then right here is where you choose dynamically allocated, right? So we'll just leave that as, you know what? I need to actually go back. No, here we go. Okay, so this is the file location and size. Now for me, I'm going to throw it out on the virtual. This is probably an okay location, although this is on my C. Let me go over here. I'm going to go to virtual machines. I'm going to put it in here. I don't want my C drive to fill up. So we'll put it on there. So you choose a location that has enough storage for it, obviously. And then it's dynamic, so it will grow in size. If you have to download the blockchain and all that stuff for the node to run. So you know, it might be larger than 10 gig. It's not right now, I don't think. So 10 gig is fine as a starting point. And then we're going to click create. So now we have this new virtual machine over here, but it doesn't have, the operating system's not installed or anything, right? We've got that ISO that we need to boot it up with, right? I think this is where I'm gonna, I think we just click start. I want to say it is going to ask us, yeah, virtual optical disk, okay. I think what we need to do is go, and what we would do is we would search for where the ISO was. Wherever you downloaded the ISO to, that's where you would go and you would point to it. So in this case we'll choose, these are just machines that I've already downloaded from Ubuntu, just like I did earlier. You saw that. So we'll just choose Ubuntu 1804, and this is a 64-bit version ISO. So we'll choose highlight that and then click open. In your case, you know, if it's in your download folder, you might only have the one, but I've downloaded several, so that's why there's more than one in here. Then we're going to click open and then start. And this is going to start the installation process of Ubuntu. So basically what you've done is you've started a machine that doesn't have an operating system on it, a virtual machine, and then you've loaded, I mean, you can kind of look at it as though you put a disk in the drive and booted it up with the disk in the drive. That's kind of what you did, or what we did by doing what we just did. So let me hop over in the chat and see if anybody's even watching this. I'm over here yapping. What's up, Brandon? Coin, what's up, man? Yashnik and all the regulars are in here. That's cool. Appreciate you guys tuning in. That's super neat. I am not a Linux guy by any stretch of the imagination, but I do have 2 GRIN virtual machines up and running, so I guess I know at least a little bit about how to start them up in the virtual environment, right? So I don't know how long this takes. I did assign 4 cores to the VirtualBox manager now, so it should be a little bit faster, because before I only had 1. I had 1 of the 4 cores assigned to this, so everything was super slow. Yeah, and GRIN has been going up. I saw that myself. We can head over there to, while that's going, I can kind of look at CoinGecko maybe. We'll see what's going on with GRIN right now. Yeah, 472. I think it started the day. Did it start the day at $4? So it's maybe not 24 hours, but yesterday or earlier yesterday, it was only at around $4. So, so that's cool. Yashnik, you don't have to do a VM, but the problem is that not everybody runs Linux, right? So if you want to have a full node running, if you want to have a wallet right now, you have to have a Linux box running so that you can install the node or get the node up and running so that you can have a wallet, because that's the only solution that there is right now for a wallet. So we're going to choose install Ubuntu, because now it's like, this is basically like you're just booting up the machine with the disk and the drive, right? It's not true? What's not true? Have I missed something? It's possible. All right, so we're going to choose continue. Or are you talking about maybe doing it within Windows? Is that what you're talking about? Fill me in, Yashnik. What are we talking about here? We're going to go with a minimal installation. We might as well do the updates. It helps out with some stuff. We don't really need... Yeah, I think we won't do any of that. So we're going to do minimal, because we don't need all the games and stuff. Yes, GRIN. That's what we're talking about. So we're going to click continue here. Did they come out with a Windows wallet now? Is that what I'm understanding? Are you just messing with me, Yashnik? I appreciate that. Keeping me on my toes. You know, I'm already like not totally into this because I don't know if it's going to work or not. So now you're just yeah, to mine it, you need HiveOS. That is true. But if you want to have a wallet, you have to have Linux, a desktop up and running. I mean, I guess you could do it. You're probably right. You could probably do it in the background on a installation of you know, HiveOS or Simple Mining. Probably you could probably do it somehow. I don't know how. I'm sure that there's a way, but So we're going to choose erase disk and install Ubuntu. Doesn't really matter because this is a virtual machine, and you're not going to erase your machine that you're actually running this on. So don't worry about that. At least I don't think so. So then we're going to click install now. It's warning you, hey, you're about to do this. Are you sure? So we're going to click continue. And then my machine crashes because I'm installing Linux on my machine. Nah, it's all good. All right, so that's where I'm at. That looks good to me. Continue here. Yeah, this is just for the wallet and the node and the wallet. It's not for mining. This is separate. This is if you want to acquire, if you want to actually get your coins under your possession, because right now, for the most part, everybody's leaving their coins on the pool side and they're waiting on a Windows wallet, right? If you want to get the coins off of the pool, you got to go this method. As far as I know right now, I don't think that there's a Windows wallet. So we'll go with my name. Okay, that sounds good. And then we'll go change this to something like YouTube. Username. All right, great. We'll go something simple for the password. It's telling us it's simple. That's okay. We're just messing around right now. And what you'll want to do, if this is going to be your actual wallet or your actual machine, your virtual machine for your wallet, I would choose require your password, and I would have a complex password. I'll leave it as required just so it's not confusing. But I would definitely get a complex password in here, not something short like I've got. And then you're going to click continue. Yeah, you can send them to an exchange too. That is absolutely true. And it's actually the way that most of the pools are set up. They have the binding between the pool and the exchange, and then you set up that connection, and then they pay out every so often or whatever. But again, this is for the wallet, an actual wallet that you can actually send GRIN to. That's what we're getting set up at this point. So this is going to take a little bit of time. I do have, like I said, I do have 4 cores assigned to the virtual machine, so it shouldn't be too bad. I don't remember. The last time I installed it, I believe that it was, I only had 1. Oh, you're good, Yashnik. It's all right. I was hoping, honestly, I'll be honest with you, I was hoping that you were going to say, no, man, they just released a Windows wallet. Then I would have shut all this stuff down and just jumped right over into that. That would have been cool, but yeah, no. Sorry. So I don't know what else to talk about while we're waiting. This is like where you sit back and you, okay. And if you're like on site and you're like working for someone else and they pop in your office or at their server or whatever like that, and they catch you going like this, they're like, what am I paying you for? You know, it's like, I can't make this thing go any faster. Come on, man, give me a break. All right. Now I just installed it as the basic stuff. I didn't install all the other stuff. In the past, the other 2 machines that you see that I had in there, I installed everything. So it has a bunch of bloatware or whatever you want to call it, media players and all that stuff. We don't really need that for this. So yeah, cool stuff. They'll probably come out with another version of Gminer today. It seems like they're releasing like 1 new version a day, which is cool. I'm down with that. All right, still going. Yeah, there was one day where I think they did release 2, right? There was a fix or something. Something was really messed up. You know, I get it. The developers are trying to, one, they're competing with other miners, right? Which we benefit from whenever they compete with who can get the most hash rate. And then us miners are just sitting here going, yeah, y'all go ahead and work on that. Make it super fast for us, you know. Because they want to be able to say, hey, we've got the fastest miner, right? Because who's going to use the slowest one, right? I mean, the cases do come up where, depending on the software that you're using, like in the case of simple mining is a little bit slower to implement new miners, although they've been killing it with these, the G miners and the GRIN gold miner and all that. For GRIN, they've been killing it. They've been staying on top of it. Pretty much right in line with HiveOS. So they've been doing a great job keeping up. HiveOS in the past has been a little bit faster with things like that, implementing new miners and stuff. But yeah, so cool stuff. I like being the beneficiary of, you know, developers working on new miners. I kind of get a kick out of it. Gminer on what? On simple mining or HiveOS? I'm using Gminer on HiveOS, and I'm using GRIN gold miner on simple mining only because I'm using AMD. This simple mining, whenever you see this come up, these are both AMD rigs, and that's it. They're both RX 580s. And over here, the only NVIDIA rig I have is this one. So this one's running GRIN gold miner also. Even though, the way I understand it, now every time I've tried it, it hasn't worked. But the way I understand it is that the G miner and I think the G miner and the B miner both don't work with AMD. It's listed as working with AMD because of all the other algorithms that it supports. This is the way I understand it. I don't know if I'm probably wrong, but tell me if I'm wrong. It's fine. So, you know, if you go into a flight sheet, for example, in HiveOS anyway, and you go over here and go to GRIN and then go to, let's just edit one so that we can kind of see what's going on here. What was I doing? GRIN gold miner, like, see how it, like for B miner, that's the one I was thinking of. So for B miner, it says AMD and NVIDIA, right? But if you're mining GRIN with it, it's not going to work. The way I understand it, anyway. I couldn't get it to work. It was always looking for NVIDIA GPUs every time. You would get that error about CUDA devices not found and things like that. So I believe that for GRIN, B miner still doesn't work for AMD. It works great for NVIDIA, but not AMD. At least that's the way I understand it. I haven't looked at it today, so I mean this is a quick moving target, you know, this whole GRIN thing. So I haven't done a lot of research on it today, so that could be old information, but that's the way I understand it. The last I heard, that's the way it was. Yeah, there's people that are doing that for sure. They're mining GRIN to get the most Aeon. Yep, that's true. I know of one. I know of at least one person that's doing that. So you haven't been able to get it working with Gminer on HiveOS on NVIDIA. Okay. Let's see where our load is, and we can kind of look at that real quick. Okay, looks like we're sort of close. Okay. I don't know what, I think you've got 1070 Ti's, right, Yashnik? And basically, it depends on the pool that you're using as to how you've got to set this up. Because yeah, we're not saying who. So I have to, let's see, this is what my wallet address looks like, even though it's not really a wallet address. So this is, it separates out between the rigs. So you put but this is for Spark Pool only. If I'm using a different pool, if you're using a different pool like F2 Pool or was it GRIN Mint or whatever, it might be different. But like I was saying in the beginning, I started using Spark Pool because of Beam way back in the beginning of January, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, almost 4 weeks. So I just stayed with it because I knew that they were doing GRIN as well. So that is my email address / rig name, and that identifies it to the pool that way. Then the flight sheet looks like this. Now if you're using HiveOS, and you said you are, right? Yeah, HiveOS and NVIDIA. Okay. So we'll look at this one right here. This one down here. Gminer. This one's running Gminer version 1.23, which might not even be the latest at this point. Let's find out. So let me just start at the beginning though. So we got GRIN coin, and then the wallet was the wallet that you just saw. The pool, I've got mine set to C29 US. These two pools right here. Then for the miner config, this is what it looks like. And that's it. I don't know if this is the latest one. Yeah, it is. So well, let's see. How many GRIN? All right. I'm really bad because I work and this is like all secondary. I don't know exactly how many I'm getting per day. I know that's terrible, but I can probably go to the pool and find out pretty close. Although I don't know if I want to show you all that or not. I think there's not really anything too personal in there, I don't think. I want to say when did it come out? It came out, okay, so we can do the math here. I know how many I have. So it came out on the 15th, right? 10 days. So I'm getting about 4 a day. Is roughly 4 a day. Yeah. Which isn't bad. If it's $4, but that's throwing every rig at it, right? And even the NVIDIA or the AMD rigs, which are horrible, absolutely horrible at mining GRIN. But I'm still throwing them at it. Just for those extra GPSs, right? So it's probably somewhere between 3.5 and 4 is what I'm getting right now. And that's with 34 GPUs. Yeah, 34. But the majority of them are AMD. If I had 34 NVIDIA, wow, that would be smoking. But I've only got 6. Yeah, just 6. That's it. I should, whenever I started building things up, I was more interested in Kryptonite coins and Ethereum Classic, so I was buying AMD, right? And now it's funny to see how things work because it seems like it's like shifted back into NVIDIA now. Kind of cool. I have a question actually. I don't know if anybody in here. Yes, I'm using SparkPool. I don't know if anybody in here might be able to answer this, but I posed. I believe it was GRIN. The GRIN Twitter actually put out. They tweeted about the Sapphire RX 570 16 gig, right? And that's coming out in February, I believe, sometime in February, and they're promoting it, as being designed to mine GRIN. Okay, well that's great, but AMD, from what I know and from what I see and experience, it gets about 25% compared to the equivalent NVIDIA GPU. So unless they're talking about them possibly mining C31, but Koku cycle 31, but I don't know how much more that will get. So maybe somebody can like break that down for me and explain it, because I don't see what the benefit is of being an RX 570 with 16 gig if you're going to be, not only that, but you know, they've got basically a 2-year time frame where after 2 years it should all be ASICs, right? At least that's the way I understand it. So if you bought those Sapphire 16 gig RX 570s right now, you only are going to get 2 years out of it, and it's going to be a decreasing return, right, as that two-year mark approaches. So I don't know. I can't understand it. I mean, a 16 gig NVIDIA GPU, that would be smoking, right? That would be great. But an RX 570, I don't know. I don't get it. I just don't. All right, so Yashnik, are you satisfied with the settings in here? Does this look like what you have for yours? Because this works on mine. This is actually the flight sheet that is working on my rig right now. And yes, it's to SparkPool. So if you've got settings similar to that and you're on a different pool, then it might be how you're, those types of settings for the actual pool. And your URL may be right here, this stuff right here. So I don't know. We'd have to look at that. Cancel that. Get out of there. All right, let's go check on our virtual machine here. Installation is complete. That's great. So we're going to restart now. Yeah, I think it was MW GRIN pool was the one that I was thinking of that might actually. There's one of them that does HTTP direct send, and I don't remember which one it is. Let me see if I can find it here. It was. Might not be able to find it. Yeah, I'd have to dig a little bit to try to find it. So this thing is restarting. Yeah. I mean, it seems like they've got the binding between the pool and the exchanges. That stuff seems to be worked out pretty well, at least for most of the pools and most of the exchanges. I would definitely go with a reputable exchange though, like Qcoin. That's a good one. Bitmesh. I want to say there's about 8, something like that. The last I checked, there were about 8 that supported the whole pool, GRIN pool to exchange binding. At least from SparkPool. I don't know about others. Oh, so it's talking to us here. It wants us to remove the installation medium, which technically it's not even in there. So we'll press enter here. See if it'll boot up. So there's 4 people in here, and Yashnik's the only one yapping. That's cool though. This can be a really long stream if we go through all this, especially if y'all get me going on different things. And I'm, doing a little bit of Fireball and Sweet Tea too. Yeah, Aeon. Aeon's still rocking, man. I dig it. I'm not hating on Aeon. I love Aeon. It's funny that you mentioned that though, because you know that's true that you know there's people that are mining GRIN and then sending it to an exchange. I'm not going to name any names, and then exchanging it for Aeon right away. So that's kind of funny. What is Aeon at right now? Is it 13 still, or did it go up? Yeah, see how there's 3,859 coins on CoinGecko, and there's only 2,100 something on CoinMarketCap. So if you want to find a price for something that is obscure, you know, not necessarily like a real popular coin, like definitely not top 100 or top 200, something far more obscure than that, then try CoinGecko, because there's a lot more listed on here. Yeah, if you go to, we'll do a little quick comparison here. See, there's only 2,116 listed on CoinMarketCap, and on CoinGecko there's 3,859. So there you go. Yeah, it's 13 and a half cents. Not bad, not bad. So Yashnik, Win Moon. Oh goodness. Win Moon, Yashnik. So it rebooted, and then I'm logging into it now. Hopefully it comes up. Hopefully my machine doesn't crash. Like, fingers crossed this whole time. Oh, I know. I know it's not the question, but you know, hey, had to show it. We were talking about it, so it makes sense. I think we can just next through some of this stuff. I don't want to send any information out. So we'll do like that, and then we'll click done. Alright, so now we have an Ubuntu 1804 virtual machine up and running. And I believe that we can probably get out to the internet by default, I believe. Let's see. Oh, Coder Joe, no one knows. No one knows the answer to that. Yeah, the whole inflation thing with GRIN is weird, because people talk about the inflation a lot, because it's literally 60 coins every 60 seconds on average, right? It's 1 coin per second. But I think if you go out over years, then it ends up being less inflation than other coins. The way I understand it, it's just that this initial thing it seems highly inflationary, right? I don't know. We're gonna see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm more focused. Personally, I like the technology of the protocol, not necessarily the coins that they've implemented the protocol on, or yeah, the coins that they've implemented on the protocol so far, being GRIN and Beam. I'm more excited about Mimblewimble than I am the coins that are on it, right? I think that's what really has a huge amount of potential, the actual protocol itself. Not that it's got a value, because it doesn't. You have to have something riding on top of it. I'm just saying that's why I'm kind of into it, is because of that whole privacy thing. So, all right, so get out of here. It's telling me that Firefox is out of date. That's fine, whatever. All right, let's see what is next. Yeah, Aeon's definitely a long-term hold for sure. I mean, I think whenever I started getting into it, it was at 40-something cents. So it's frustrating to see it go down so much, but it's just one of those. To me, it's one of those things that has such a bright future as time goes on. I don't worry about Aeon at all. I think it's going to be fine. It's going to increase in value. Not financial advice or none of that stuff, because I'm just some dude on the internet, but I don't know. I just look at it and I like it. I like the project. I like what they're doing. So, all right, y'all are getting me off track. Don't get me off track. Let me review my notes here. So where are we at? So we've got the virtual machine up and running. The next step is to get up and running with a GRIN node. So that's what we want to do, and this is where I run into all the problems. So let's just go after it. If we go back to this, so now we can kind of follow along with this. And again, this is just off of the grintech.org. I think I'm right there. Yeah, grin-tech.org. So you click get started, and then you want how to run a GRIN node. So you click on that, and then right here is basically where we're at. So now we have a Linux machine up and running, which is our virtual machine right here. All right, and then so we're going to follow along with this and run the commands as they specify, right? I think I might be able to. Let me see if this is going to work here. Yeah, so we might be able to do it like this, maybe. Let's see. It's amazing, this old machine that I've got here, and I'm able to do stuff like this. It's kind of funny. I mean, this machine is old. All right. So what we need to do? All right, downloading the software. We already got. Well, we don't have the software yet, so we need to do that. You know what we need to do? We need to bring this. Oh, okay. So, man, if we want to do the whole cut and paste thing, this is going to be a nightmare again, because I don't remember. We're going to have to reboot this machine a couple times. I'm going to have to remember how to do this. Give me a second, guys. Let me think about this. I think we have to go to settings. The problem is that I'm not going to type in all the commands for all the Linux stuff. So I want to be able to copy and paste. And by default, you can't copy and paste into your virtual machine. So there's some steps you have to go through in order to make it work. And I believe that you have to go to shared clipboard. You have to go to general and then advanced. And then all I did was I went up here to settings. So let me machine and then settings. And then we're going to choose advanced. And then we're going to choose bidirectional and bidirectional. And then OK. And that's one part of it. Now we also have to load something. Let's see here. Oh man, I wonder. I'm forgetting this part. I really want to be able to do. That's not right. Where's CryptoZ? CryptoZ knew how to do this. He was the one that he was the one that was telling me this. There's like a disk or something that we have to load. All right, give me a second here, guys. Let me think about this. It's not over there because they don't care that you can't copy and paste. Devices. That was it. Alright, so we'll run that. We have to get it up to a. So all I did, oh, that's not right. So all I did was clicked on devices, and then I'm gonna let this run. Just give me a second here. I'll show you what I did. All we're trying to do right now is enable copy and paste because we don't want to have to type in all the commands for Linux into the virtual machine. So right now it does not work. You can't copy and paste something. It just makes it a lot easier. Okay, so now we can press return to get rid of that. All I did was click devices and then insert guest additions CD image. Now after you do that, you have to restart to enable copy and paste. So, oh, Crypto Z's on a family vacation. Oh no. Well, good for him. Yeah, he spent quite a bit of time helping me out the other night. I told him, I was like, man, normally I said I felt really weird because normally I'm the one helping people. You know, people hit me up in the comments and all that stuff on videos all the time, and I'm always trying to help people. And here he was spending a lot of time walking me through probably what seems like menial tasks inside of Linux and stuff. So it was kind of funny. I was like, what's the protocol here? How do I thank you? You know, kind of funny. Man, we are at almost an hour, and we haven't done very much, but I've been talking a little bit too. So this is real world stuff here, man. We're taking it like literally step by step and real world. So there's no editing here, and this is just the way you have to do it, and it's time too. It takes the amount of time. So, but the only thing that we didn't really do is we didn't go through the time of downloading an image from Ubuntu, but that's pretty easy. I showed you how to do it, so that's cool. And the other thing was actually downloading or installing the Oracle VirtualBox, but it's pretty simple too. Once you download the installation file, you run it as administrator and pretty much all the defaults, if I remember right. All right. So now all that whole thing was for there is to enable copy and paste. It just makes it so much easier because we'll be able to look over here and copy the command and then run it over here. It'll be super easy, hopefully. So we're going to take this super slow. All right, so we're going to look at our prerequisites here. It says Linux x86 64 only, or Mac, relatively recent hardware, which I don't really have. This is a super old machine. Some Linux command line knowledge is very helpful. I have very little. I'm not a Linux guy, but okay. And then so the next thing that we're going to do, it looks like, is install Rust, because GRIN uses the Rust programming language. So we have to install that inside of the virtual machine. So let's see if they actually, how's this work here? Yeah, this kind of assumes that you've already done that. Okay, so let's do this first. I think I can grab this whole thing. Let's see if this works. So we're going to open up Terminal. I'm going to do a couple things over here real quick. Just click on the little, I don't know what they call this, grid box, something. click on terminal, and then we're going to right click and add to favorites so that it stays up there. And then we're going to, I think we have to do a sudo. This is where I start losing it, all these commands and stuff. I don't know if you have to do that or not. Might not. Alright, so alright. So right off the bat, we have to install curl. This is where this is the part that I worried about. I was like, man, you know, there's so many different things that are not in this guide over here. But it does kind of tell you right there, like, hey, you got to run this command here to get access to that that utility. So that's cool. You can do that. At least it tells you, right? Told me the exact command to run in order to make it work. So now we're going to, now that we have curl installed, right? So now we're going to try to run that command again. And we didn't need to put sudo in there, so that's good. We're going to choose 1 for proceed with installation. And then this is going to download and install Rust, which is the programming language that GRIN works on. And I think this does take a little bit of time. It might be time for me to go get another drink. Yep, we're there. Alright, I'm gonna go and get another drink while this is loading. I will be right back. Cheers, everybody. All right, so it's done. And then it wants us to execute the source home. I don't think that's over here in, oh yeah, it kind of is. So we'll do this. It probably already did it, but I will copy it and do it again just to make sure. All right, cool. Alright, so the next thing, now that Rust is installed, it looks like the next thing we need to go and grab GRIN. So we'll go to the release page and we'll grab the latest version, which, you know, it basically takes you there. All I did was right click, open in new tab. And then we're going to, oh, you know what? We can't do it over here. We need to do this over here on this machine so that we get it on this machine. So what we'll do is copy that URL, open up Firefox over here. Is there anybody else drinking with me tonight? Let me know. And tell me what y'all are drinking. I'm drinking Fireball and sweet tea. If you like Fireball and you like sweet tea, you got to put them together because it's awesome. So give that a shot. And I can't tell you how nice it is to have cut and paste, because all these Linux commands and stuff like that, typing them in, it's brutal. All right, so now let's go back to over here. We'll go back to the instructions. All right, so it wants us to download the latest version of GRIN. So we'll grab, and we're on Linux, so we're gonna grab that version. So I'm just gonna click on the top one here. Save the file. It's already done. I think it puts it in downloads. Yep. So it puts it in downloads. So it says download the zip binary to your machine, unzip it in terminal. This is, and all this, basically what they're saying right here is these commands right here. So let's see, I think we need to copy that. I think you can go, yeah, open in terminal here. I mean, we could have just switched to that directory too, but then we're going to paste that and then enter. So that, what did it do? Did that create that GRIN folder? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. But I don't want it in the downloads folder. Let's see. Because I'd rather it be out on the home folder. And if we go to files here, give me a second here, guys. Let me think about what I'm doing here. So it unzipped it there under downloads. I guess it doesn't matter, but usually I would want to, yeah, let's do that. I'm going to move this to home. It's probably not the easiest way to do this, but put it out here. If I can. No, that's desktop. Okay, alright, let me think about this. Again, I'm not great with Linux, so give me a second here. I mean, we could leave it where it is. It's kind of going to walk us through the process here. Let me go back to terminal and see. Let's see here. So CD GRIN. Okay, so it's not. So that's the actual file. Okay. All right. We'll just leave it there. I think what it wanted us to do was make the. That's what it is. Okay. All right. All right. Let's try that. I'm clicking on the wrong thing. It wants to. It wanted us to download it to. I guess it doesn't matter. I need to cancel this. That's what I need to do. Okay. Put it on home. Let's do it like this. That way we should be able to just go to terminal now and go to CD dot. So now we're at home, right? So if we ls, yeah, there's the file. Okay, so let's do it like this. This will make more sense. So we're basically at home right here, and then now we're going to. Well, we've got that's what the location of the TGZ file is on home. So now let's go ahead and create. Let's see if this is right, because we want to get Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm doing this right. All right, so we're gonna copy this. Let's see what happens here. Totally messing this up. All right, so we just made a folder called GRIN, right? So here's the folder right here. And then we're going to, okay, so it does want us to actually extract the TGZ. So let's do that, because it has us move it. That's what the next command is right there, is to move it. I mean, we could do a shortcut and just get it, you know. Did I not get the whole thing? I didn't. Hang on a second. Let me go over here and grab the command again. I knew I was going to have a problem right here, but alright, so now we extracted the GRIN file again, and then now we've already made the directory, so now we're going to copy the GRIN file into the GRIN folder, right? And you can see how much easier it is with alright, so it's easier with copy and paste. GRIN are the same file. Is it already in there? Let's see here. I don't see a GRIN folder. Thought I made a folder in there. Yeah, so this is kind of not working as far as just straight up commands. So we got to think about what we're doing here. So we want to have a folder called GRIN. That's what we want. And then we want this file right here to be in that folder. So we'll just click and drag it over there. So now that's what we have. I probably should have named it with a lowercase. Let's rename it. One of the hardest things to remember is in Linux, the case matters, and it doesn't so much in Windows. So, all right. So now we are going to go back to the terminal here, and we got to run this echo command here. This one. Okay, and typically if it doesn't tell you anything, if it doesn't say anything at all, then it's successful, right? And then now we should be able to change into the GRIN directory, our folder. If I can spell. One too many fireballs, right? We should be able to run GRIN, but I'm not confident that it's going to work. But it did work. Yay! Alright, so now we have to wait on the blockchain to download, right? And you see right there it's at 3%. I think I should be able to let's do this to make it a little bit bigger here. That didn't really help, but okay. Let's see here. What am I looking at here? Okay, that's the folders. So get rid of that. So we have to wait on this to download. All right, what are we talking about here? All right, so Yashnik's drinking beers. I'm drinking Fireball. So Coder Joe he makes concrete statues and repairs computers. That's awesome, man. Vanilla Pepsi, yeah. You gotta have a little bit of alcohol tonight, man. We're doing GRIN. We gotta have a little bit of alcohol to do that. Yashnik, he's a IT specialist. That's very similar to what I am in the real world. The blockchain's not too large yet, so it's probably not going to take that long to download. And that's one of the benefits, actually, of Mimblewimble is being a very small, efficient blockchain. So one of the main benefits. Trims all the fat off of the blockchain and increases privacy at the same time. So kind of cool. One of the things I like about it. And what we could do while this is downloading, we could probably do the wallet stuff too. Let's see here. See where we're at with the instructions. What you have to do is, I think we're supposed to wait until it's actually all the way done before we try to do a wallet or anything like that. So we'll do that just to be safe. We'll err on the side of caution. What can we look at while it's downloading? Looks like it's almost done, but I can go check on my machines. See where we're at. Yeah, Coder Joe, that is true. They use what's called a cut through. So if the way to look at it is, if Mary sends Bob some coins and then Bob sends those coins to Mike, then by the time it is applied on the blockchain, there is no Bob, right? Because basically all it'll see is that, what did I say, Mary to Mike? Basically cuts out that middle transfer, right? Kind of super simplistic way of looking at it. But that drastically increases the privacy, right? I might have drank too much Fireball. I'm focused, super focused right now. I just want this blockchain to finish downloading so that we can get on with the wallet. Yeah, there's just so much to this. To actually get a wallet working, and I'll be honest, I haven't transferred money yet. I haven't transferred any GRIN. I asked CryptoZ, but you said that he was out to on vacation. I was going to get him to go back and forth and send, like a minuscule amount of GRIN just to verify that it was working. And the instructions that I was using, I believe, are a little inaccurate. Not from him, but from some of these resources online, because it wants to. There's a whole other thing that you have to do, because if you want to transfer GRIN using HTTP listener on your node here, on your wallet, that's also running, well, on your node that's also running a wallet. You have to forward the port, or forward a port on your router to your virtual machine's IP address, and there's a lot to that, because if it's set to dynamic and it's going to pull a different IP, it could pull a different IP every time you boot up the virtual machine. Then you would have to go back in and update the router port forwarding, right? So you can always go into your router and do a reservation for your IP and that MAC address and all that. That's true, so that it always pulls the same IP. But all that stuff is pretty high level. I mean, could you imagine having to do this like a normal person, like a non-tech person? I couldn't imagine having to do this. Yeah, this would be a nightmare. So as far as adoption of GRIN, they gotta clearly they gotta have a better wallet, a better situation for transferring the actual currency. And I know it's brand new and all that, I get it, but yeah, you're not gonna have the normal person. The normie is not gonna be firing up a VirtualBox in Oracle and installing Ubuntu and then going through all these commands. They're just not going to do it, So it's kind of funny to think about it like that. Well, Coder Joe, it sounds like you need to update your autocorrect. That's funny. Changes Bitcoin to Hitchin. That's hilarious. Yeah, and I've already ran into it whenever, and there's other things too, because they want you to forward. I think it's 34 port 3415 is the default, and that I don't think is the right one, because if I do the command, I don't remember what it is right now. I've got it written down over here. The command to see what ports the virtual machine or Linux is listening on, it's not one of the ports that are in the instructions for the wallet. So that's why I wanted to get with CryptoZ to figure out which port is supposed to be open, because I'm pretty sure that he told me it was 3415, but from what I can tell, it's 3414. But I could be wrong. I might just be looking at it the wrong way or whatever. Okay, so now if it says running right here under current status, I believe that means that the full blockchain has been downloaded and we are good to go. So now, here's the key though. You have to have two open terminals. You have to have one wallet and the node, right? This is the node. So what you can do is just click on File and then New Tab. And then that opens up another terminal window. You can see right here. And then we are going to, let me see if I can get this a little bit bigger. Hopefully it doesn't crash. Come on, come back up. All right, there we go. All right, so now I think we can just do, because we already did GRIN, we're running the node, it says running, so it's fully downloaded and good to go. So now we can move over here to now we're going to fire up the wallet, basically, is what we're looking at. I think, right? So this is configuring the GRIN node. I haven't even been through this. It looks like there's some things inside of the GRIN server TOML file. Okay. Yeah, I think we can go and look at all this stuff here. So if we go into the GRIN folder, nope, it's actually under. Oh, it's probably it might be a hidden file. So you have to come over here and go show hidden. No, it's not under there either. Oh, it's under .grin, that's right. So this folder right here, this is where your configuration files are. So if we go to GRIN server TOML, right click, open with text editor. This will be like a text file where there's configuration settings inside of it. And this is where I was saying, like, for the API, for the pool, the transaction pool is port 3413. Okay, that's great. Don't have to worry about that too much. But if you keep going down through here, it's listening on port. This is the server is listening on 3414. And I believe I think we're gonna find out. Yeah, like here's Stratum is 3416. There was one, yeah, here it is right here. The wallet listener is 3415. But there's some instructions that have you check whether or not 3415 is accessible from the internet yet, even though you haven't ran the wallet initialization yet. So it was kind of confusing, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So anyway, all right, so it looks like 3415 is the wallet listener URL, which is fine. That's great. That's what we need to know. But that is not going to be, you can't configure that until the wallet is actually up and running and initialized, right? So let's see, what does this do? Looks like if we wanted to change the configuration or change the folder where those files are stored, that's fine. Not a big deal. Okay. So now this is the GRIN node instructions that we're basically completed, right? We got some help files here, or some help, like if you needed help with something, you could do GRIN help. So we can look at that real quick. Let's see what it looks like. So yeah, just got some real quick little help file here. And we can do server help, right? So they've got some pretty decent help utilities in here, or help information, so that's nice. Alright, so let's go back to, so this step right here basically we're done with. Now we're going to go to how to use a GRIN wallet. And it tells you right here, hey, make sure that you run the GRIN node first, which we are. That is what this right here is. So this is a GRIN node fully up and operational and running, right? So that is good. So all we have to do is we go to the second window. We don't do it from inside of here because we need the node running as well as the wallet at the same time. So we have to go to our second window. Remember, we went file and then new tab, right? So we have to go in here, and this is where we're going to execute the GRIN wallet init, and then that is going to request a password. We'll type in a password, and this is for the wallet itself. And if this was your wallet, you would want to, wow, I messed that all up. You would want to make a complex password, right? So then it comes up and says, okay, your recovery phrase, this is similar to seed words, seed phrases, whatever you want to call it. So you would document this on a piece of paper, non-electronic typically is what they recommend, right? So you would document all these words. These are your seed words. They call it a recovery phrase. So you would do that in a non-digital format, like they say right there. But it does say also that the command init completed successfully. So now, this is what I should have done this before. I should have shown you what it looks like before. Yeah, it's not listening yet, right? There's that. Let's see where we're at with the... So by default, the wallet tries to communicate with the node running on your local machine. To communicate with another node, you could type in this command here for a public node. We're not going to do that. Some information about the wallet. So GRIN, what is this? GRIN wallet info. Let's see what that shows us. What's the password for the wallet? That's good. That's a good sign. All right. I didn't type in the password right. Another good sign that it didn't work. All right, so there we go. So that's what our wallet info looks like. And we're talking about sending and all that stuff. You can do it via file or HTTP transfer. This is the HTTP transfer method here between two nodes, basically. Alright, so if you want to, I believe that there's a pool. I can't remember which one it is, but there's one pool that uses, most of the pools use the files, or they'll email you the file. You have to go to the pool and determine how, the method that you're going to use here. But you will basically configure the pool to send you the file, and then you'll go through these instructions here on how to import that file basically into your wallet on your node. But there is one pool, I can't remember which one it is, that has the HTTP method enabled. So you would be able to go to the pool and tell it to send it via HTTP, which is kind of cool. But you have to have the wallet in a listen mode in order to do that, right? Because all we've done here is basically created a wallet, but it's not really doing anything. So that's actually a good point, because if we go in here and type in, what's the command here? It is netstat. I've got it written down over here, so give me a second here, guys. I think it's like that. Maybe not. So I need to, so I need to install those tools. In order for the netstat utility to work, you have to download those tools. And it tells you right there like what the command is to actually go and get the net tools. So kind of convenient. Super convenient, in my opinion. Alright, so now we're going to go netstat an grep listen with a space and then a quotation mark, right? And then that's going to show us what ports the machine, the virtual machine, is actually listening on at this moment. And you don't see 3415 in here, right? Which is the one that we need to send GRIN back and forth. Now if we go to this, we'll do this command here, and that will enable, or it should enable 3415, port 3415 to be listening. So we'll go like that. It's going to ask for the password again because it's an admin function. So I must have hit the password wrong. Okay, what am I doing wrong here? Let's see. Maybe it's not. Oh geez, come on guys. Alright, subcommand. Oh, that was my password. I know I'm typing it in right. Oh, that's really weird. I must have used a different password. Okay, so that's basically what you want to see right there. So now if we go to another, all right, so now what we have right now is we have a node running on this tab, and then we have, and fully synchronized because it says running right here. And then on this tab we have a wallet up and running and listening. And now we're going to open up another tab to verify of what port is actually, the wallet is actually listening on. Okay, but this is the part that I get a little bit confused on, because I don't know if it should, if the wallet that's sending to this node, should they use the wallet listening port or the node listening port? I think it's going to be the node, but the node is 3414, I believe, port 3414. So let's go in here and let's go netstat an grep listen space quote. All right. So see, now you look right here, this is listening, this is like basically a broadcast address, right? And it's listening on port 3415. And that wasn't available earlier, and I can show you that. So if we go in here and we go Control C to end the wallet listening, so now it's not listening anymore. And we go back to this other tab, and then we execute that command again. 3415 is not listed anymore, right? So this is that part that I really needed CryptoZ to help me with this, because I don't know if they should send it to 341, send the GRIN from another node or another wallet to this machine using 3414 or 3415. Because whenever you run the wallet, if you go back over here, and we launch the wallet listening, right? That's not right. That one. Okay, so now we go back over here and we say what ports are listening now. 3415 is listed. See? So I don't know. I don't know which one is which. As far as, I think the instructions talk about 3415, but I don't know for sure. And then the rest of the instructions just basically talk about how to send back and forth. And how to recover, restoring, things like that. But right now, we have a working listening wallet, and we have a working node that's fully synchronized in a virtual machine on a Windows 10 machine. Running, and this virtual machine is Ubuntu 18.04. So kind of cool. I wish that we had a way. I don't know of anybody that we could have send us some coins or anything like that. That's where CryptoZ was supposed to be here. He would have helped a lot. All right, so that is pretty much it for that part of setting up GRIN. Now we need to talk about mining it, right? So if we go, what I'll do is, let's exit out of all this. I'm gonna exit out of this. Control C here. Exit. Now this, what CryptoZ and I were working on, he found out that if you just close this, like let's say you hit the X, then you can corrupt some things and make it to where it won't run again. So what he recommended was to always choose Q, you know, down here, right? So if you press Q on the keyboard, and then you want to wait until you see the command line come back up, right? So the cursor came back up. You saw how it took a second there before you go to exit, because there was a lot of weird things that were going on. He was actually remoting into my machine and looking at it, and it was weird. So just keep that in mind. I want to exit out of things properly to not corrupt them. So remind later on that. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the whole virtual machine and all that stuff. Getting the node up and running and the wallet listening. The only question that I have is the port and sending and receiving, which port we're actually supposed to use. So there you go. What are we confused on, Michael Johns? I mean, all we've done is we installed Oracle Virtual Machine. We installed Ubuntu 18.04 inside of a virtual machine environment. And then we installed GRIN. And then we initialized a wallet. That's pretty much all we've done. 4 steps, basically, so far. So there you go. All right, so let's. I think we're pretty much done with the virtual machines and stuff. Let's get out of here. I'm going to shut this machine down. Virtual machine, powering off. Don't need it anymore. Let's go back to here. So we've done both of these steps. So the GRIN starter guide. We have done the node. We've done the wallet, and then now we're going to do the how to mine. Now they go through here as when I think they go over Windows basically, and maybe Linux on how to do it. I mean, all of us pretty much use HiveOS or simple mining, so I think that's probably the way that we'll go. We'll just cover HiveOS and simple mining and kind of go from there. Although I can only do AMD on simple mining because those 2 rigs are both AMD that are over on simple mining. So we're kind of stuck there. These 2 rigs are AMD. I could probably boot up the NVIDIA rig also, but I mean, we can mess with it in HiveOS. So I think we'll be okay there. So here's what's going on right now. We got Gminer version 1.23. This is the NVIDIA rig right here. And then the other one is running GRIN Gold Miner, and this is AMD. And you can clearly see how much better NVIDIA is at mining GRIN compared to AMD, because this is 12 GPUs and it's getting 17 GPS graphs per second, which here it's just indicated as an H. And this is only 6 GPUs, NVIDIA GPUs, and it's getting 27 with Gminer. So that's freaking awesome. Which cards, Yashnik? What are we looking at? NVIDIA, this is what I got. And AMD, I've got this right here. 10 580s and 2 570s. And no one's explained to me yet the whole Sapphire 570 16 gig thing. Is that really going to be awesome on GRIN or not? Because I don't think it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something, but it just seems like, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. All right, so I don't know how to do this. Do you want to just start at the beginning, like do a whole new flight sheet kind of thing? I don't know what all miners you can use for NVIDIA, because I'm stuck with G miner. I think you can use B miner also, but for NVIDIA, I think you're stuck with GRIN Gold Miner. I think. I'm almost positive that that's the only one that you can use for GRIN at this moment. You might be able to use the GRIN miner, the one that's from GRIN, but that one's not great with the hash rate or the GPS. The last I checked, I think right now I've got the two most efficient miners for the types of rigs. I think. I don't know. So you're saying to use B miner for, you think it'll be better? Let's do a test. Let's figure it out. Alright, so we're getting 27.3 now on G miner. So let's go to flight sheets, and we're going to copy this one. We'll duplicate, where are we at? We're on this one right here. Nope, this one right here. So let's duplicate this one. Where is it? Here it is. Alright, and we're going to go edit. All this stays the same. I can show you what my wallet actually is. So, well, actually I already showed you that, but we'll revisit it real quick. This is what my wallet looks like for that rig. I got a new email address for it. Probably shouldn't be showing you that, but it's encrypted and stuff, so I think I'll be okay. Strong password and all that stuff. Okay. So we'll go to flight sheets. Then we're going to go to, this is the copy, right? So let's go in here and edit. Don't use Sparkpool. Okay, we won't. I can use something else. What do we want to use? F2? Well, let's go and look and see what we've got for pools for GRIN. Yashnik, you're all pushy tonight, just so you know. Alright, so we got F2 pool is the leader with 34%. And then you got Spark Pool with 32. Strong second, coming in strong second there. And then you got GRIN Mint. I think it's GRIN Mint is the one that has the HTTP capability. Hang on a second. Let me. Yashnik's telling me to check my Discord. Yeah, you're super pushy today. Alright, what do we got here, Yashnik? MW GRIN pool. Is this working? Is this config working for you or no? Alright, so let's see here. I think it was GRIN Mint that has the HTTP capability. I haven't even been to this pool at all, so let's look at it and see what we got here. Hang on, I got another message here. Give me a second. All right. So it wants email, which I'm not mining to this, so it's not going to have anything. Okay, we can try this. Oh, you want to use MW GRIN pool? Okay. Hang on, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Now the wife just got home from work, so I had to say, "Hey, what's up?" All right, so where were we? What were we doing here? Forgot what I was looking at here with Yashnik's thing that he sent me. Okay, so we're going to use this. Looks like. Now I think all you have to do is provide an email address, right? Similar to Sparkpool. So we'll choose configure a miner, and then we're going to choose which miner are you using? B miner. That's what you wanted to use, right? There it is. Setup miner config. Algorithm will be Cuckaroo 29. We'll use wallet. Paste as plain text. So Yashnik, is this not working on yours? What you sent me, is it not working? Is that what we're saying? Oh, it is working. Okay. I thought you said it wasn't working. And you're saying that that's the best pool? Okay. Don't be so pushy. Oh, you're just shilling the hell out of this pool, huh? Alright. let's try this. So we're getting 27 with Gminer. So let's try this new one here. I don't even think I gave it a name. I didn't, did I? So this is the one that we just created. So I'm not supposed to put password? I don't have an account with them, so I don't know. Maybe I should go to MW GRIN pool. You can steal my GRIN, I guess. I was already there. Yeah, good grief. Yeah. Special one. Yeah. Oh wow. How's that? Hey, hang on guys, I'm talking to the wife. How is that? It's crazy. Huh? Apparently. Alright, let's see here. Alright, I'm following your screenshots, Yashnik. Oh wow, awesome.
For 3 days. Look. In 3 days.
For 3 days?
Without tournaments.
Oh wow. That's sick.
I don't know how.
Okay. Yashnik, Mr. Pushy. Alright, let's see where we're at. Alright, do you approve of this right here, Yashnik? It is exactly like you have, except you don't have your password on there. But I don't have an account with them, so I don't know how this is going to work. I would assume that I have to create an account, right? So how would I... Let's find out. I don't want to use the same password that I just showed y'all. So yeah, I seem to recall that I already did this before. Let's see here. See if I remember my passwords. I was going to use this pool at one point. My phone's interfering with my keyboard. Okay, so I don't know my password. I guess I could create a new one. Does it have to be yeah, I said hey to her from y'all. She's like, what are you still doing live streaming? Good grief. Like, yeah, it's a special one. Yashnik wants me to follow his instructions on Discord, and he sent me 2 screenshots, and that's it. And it's nothing that's not already up there. So, whatever, Yashnik. I hear you. Probably gonna have to create a new account here. Alright. Did I create an account? Yeah, I did. Alright. Or either that or I logged in. Okay, so either way, I'm good at this point. Alright, so this is super cool. This looks a lot better than Sparkpool for sure. Alright, so what do we do next? Send me some instructions, Yashnik, because I'm in. I'm good. You haven't sent me nothing. Nothing on Discord. So what am I waiting on? Let's see. So I think that over here, see, I can't put... So do I actually have to put the password here? I would assume that I do. So I'm going to have to... I mean, it's kind of a fake account, sort of, I guess, but... Let me see what I can do here. So I have to put, Yashnik, you can answer this question for me. So I have to put the actual password that I just created this account with. I don't really want to do that live. So, let's log out. Let's do a new one. I'll just do a fake one. Or try to, anyway. Alright, here we go. Alright, so that is, let me write this down. Okay, so what we need to do, I have to go back to here, and I need to create a new, actually let's go to wallets, and no, I never created it. Okay, see, how can we do this? No, I don't need a wallet. I got the wallet. Well, I do need a wallet because I changed the email address. Okay. All right. One too many fireballs here. All right. Let's see here. I think this is gonna work. Alright. So these are my actual ones here. This is the fake one. Sounds good to me. So then we're going to go to flight sheets. I already have one created, right? You wanted to use bminer, which is this guy right here. Not assigned to a rig, so this is the one that we want to edit. All right. Cool. All right. As I use my username for wallet, not email. All right. Well, you sent me a thing that says your account password. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't think it matters as long as you have the email address in there. Oh my gosh. Yashnik, you're killing me tonight. Alright. Let's do configure in minor, B minor. Okay, here we go. I think we're good now. Yashnik, is that good? I'm waiting on your confirmation. Does that look good? Yes or no? I'm waiting. First line. What are you talking about? All right, here we go. Let me back up. Use the username as wallet address. Got that. Yep. Yep. Did that. What are you complaining about? I did exactly what you said here. And my shit looks exactly like what you sent me, except for the password. So I don't know what you're complaining about. I don't know what you're bitching about. Alright, I got MW GRIN pool. Alright. So we're going to apply changes. Update. Alright, great. Now that flight sheet is not assigned to the rig yet. Alright, so let's we'll go GRIN, YouTube. Alright, create flight sheet. Oh my gosh, what happened? Oh, I was already editing one, so I don't need to do this. Alright, so is this the one? Nope, that's not it. This is the one that we were editing. Alright, so I got a question, Yashnik. Oh, never mind. That's your wallet name. Okay, I was going to say, how did you get MW GRIN pool as your pool? Okay, alright, good. Alright, so let's try it. That's not the one I was messing with, was it? This is the one that's assigned. Did I already assign it? This is the old one. I don't know. I'm getting confused here. Okay, so this is this the one we just edited? Yeah, okay. Alright, cool. And we already assigned it? Did I already assign that? I don't remember doing that. Okay, well, maybe I did. So So let's go over here to workers and see if it's actually mining, and it looks like it is. All right, so that's bminer, and it is, remember, we were getting 27, now we're getting 27.83. Not a huge increase, but okay. All right, Yashnik, I got it. All right, so I think we are successfully mining GRIN on NVIDIA rig, bminer, and I was using gminer, but bminer is apparently a little bit faster, just a little bit, not a whole lot. Oh, you want me to reboot too? Okay, all right, I'll reboot. Let's do that. See, look, I mean, exclamation points and everything, and you're like super pushy tonight. I don't know what's going on with you. Read my instructions. Reboot. Yeah, I know I have an update too. We'll do that too. Why don't we just go ahead and do that too? You might be correct, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I got through that pretty easy. I don't know. Even with you pushing me around, I still got through it. All right. That's not the machine. That's the bottom rig. So let's fire up VNC and see what is going on with this thing. Still booting up. Is 13.1 the latest? Or did they go up to 13.2? I'm glad you're proud of me, Yashnik. Oh my gosh, you're crazy. Failed to log into server. Alright, Yashnik, push me around, man. What do I do? What did we do wrong? Doesn't like it. Failed due to end of file. I've heard of this and I've seen that before. It's getting really good GPS though, which is kind of odd. It says it's connected, but it's not logging in. So did I mess something up with the... Let's find out. Let's go back to flight sheets. This is the one that's assigned. Let's go back in here. Oh, that'll do it. We had the wrong wallet. Okay, so update. Try that out. And there we go with the temperatures, right? that first load is like, ah! It's kind of crazy. I did follow your instructions. Yeah, I kind of missed the wallet though. I did miss the wallet. That's true. We created a new wallet and then I didn't assign it to the flight sheet. I get it. I got it. I'm good. Yeah, but I mean, I'm a couple drinks in here on Fireball, so give me a little bit of a break. All right, what are we doing? Where are we at? Refresh. All green here. That's good. Does it need to reboot? Or it's got the update, so that's good. can look at our alerts here. Self upgrade successful. Everything looks good. Trash all that. All right, we're getting hash rates not accepted, or shares not accepted. So let's reboot, like Yashnik says. Reboot one time. Yeah, that was crazy. Like last night, y'all saw that where I was getting, it might have been the night before last, where it was down like that, 92%, you know, 93%, 94%. And then all I did was I rebooted and it was 100 for the whole day. For a full 24 hours, it was 100. So yeah, reboots definitely work. They definitely help some things, that's for sure. So isn't this crazy? Like earlier, my machine crashed during, like within 2 or 3 minutes, or 7 or 8 minutes of the live stream. And then we've been going for 2 hours and 12 minutes. Solid. It's so weird. I didn't reboot before this live stream either. I just let it rock. So I don't know. So you're saying we'll always get invalid shares using bminer, because gminer had 0. But I did read where even with the rejected shares, bminer was better. So percentage wise, it was better than gminer, even though it would get some rejected shares. That's cool. Whatever. I just like seeing 100 right here, right? So it was getting 27, now it's getting 27.62. And that goes up and down a little bit. It's not real consistent. Looking pretty good. I can remember just less than a week ago, this was 15. Like, they have like increased the efficiency of these miners like crazy. I was getting 15 and now I'm getting 27. It's almost double. It's crazy. I love to see that though, you know, the miners fighting over each over the hash rates and stuff. It's great. Because we all benefit. Not the miners, the devs. The miners benefit. And the devs do too, but still. So let me show you, alright, so all this is good. I don't need to do that. All I need to do for my specific pool is switch over to that other wallet. So like right now, this is all not gonna be anything good. So I'll just, I'll let that rock for a minute, but we'll go to simple mining and I'll just show you the config for that, and then we could probably pretty much call it. I don't want to go too much longer. It's already over 2 hours and 15 minutes almost. So let me show you the config for, again, this is all AMD. I don't have NVIDIA on simple mining right now, so this is what I did click on that. Is that the right one? Yeah, see, I'm using GRIN Gold Miner over here because I try to use bminer because, again, it shows you know, AMD as being, you know, you can select AMD from the bminer or using bminer, but it won't work for GRIN yet. I mean, I don't know if they're working on fixing that or what. I don't know. I don't know what the status is, but it constantly will tell you, hey, you're using, you know, it's trying to launch CUDA and it can't. So I'm assuming that they only have it set up to where it'll mine GRIN on NVIDIA, and that's it. So that's my settings for GRIN Gold Miner on AMD on Simple Mining. You can pretty much just follow what they've got down here. Pretty much tells you what you need to put in your arguments, in your miner options here. All right. So what I'll do after the stream is over is I'll switch over to bminer for mine, you know, my actual email address and stuff. My password, Yashnik. Yeah, I agree. It's like that. I was talking about that earlier with GRIN and AMD with Sapphire. They're releasing those 16 gig RX 570s, but I don't understand what the benefit is, because it's literally 25%. I get right around 25% of the hash rate or the GPS from an AMD GPU compared to a comparable NVIDIA GPU. It's like 25%. That's like nothing. So I wonder what. I know that it's going to be C31 and not C29 with the 16 gig GPUs, but is that really going to change a lot with the processing power? You know, isn't it going to still be 25% of what an NVIDIA GPU is? I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right. ICU2. I think that it's just a way of, you know, it's just a way of getting rid of some of that memory, you know, and almost because I replied back to, because GRIN MW tweeted about it. I don't know if it's GRIN MW or GRIN MW tweeted about the Sapphire card and the 16 gig and all that stuff, and I'm like, okay, so that's great, but what, isn't it going to be like crappy for mining GRIN? And there were a few people that replied back also, or liked my reply, and they never said anything back. So it's almost like they're, like, you're right, they're just trying to get rid of that GDDR5 memory. So it's crazy, you know. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, but it doesn't seem like it would be good. The Sapphire RX 570. I mean, the amount of memory is great, but I just don't see how. I mean, you can look right here. This is like a perfect example. And I know I keep mentioning this, but this is 6 NVIDIA GPUs, and this is 12 AMD. So it's literally, I mean, it's half on here, right? It's not even half, but I think that these get 1.5 roughly each. Yeah, see, 1.5. And then NVIDIA gets 4.6, 4.8. You know, that's probably a 1080 right here. This is probably 1080 right here. This is a 1070 Ti, most likely 1070 Ti, and then this is a 1070. That's a 1070 probably. So, I mean, it's just not even close. You know, it's 25%, 30%. So I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah. I mean, maybe it'll be a monster with like Ethereum, but even that's going to prog power, right? So, you know, what are you going to get, another couple weeks out of it? I don't know. I don't see how it's going to work. C32 is being planned or something, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, both of these projects, both Beam and GRIN, both are saying that their goal, their end goal, not a goal, but their end state is going to be ASIC, right? And I've said that before in live streams. I said, you know, a lot of the coins, in a way, getting to the ASIC requirement, so to speak, is kind of a rite of passage of a coin, right? Because if they get to that point to where an ASIC manufacturer wants to spend the money to mine that coin, it's kind of like a rite of passage. It kind of is. It sucks for the centralization part of it. I get it, but it's kind of true, you know. And both Beam and GRIN both have. I mean, even GRIN has said that that C31 is for ASICs. It's designed. It's like they put out the specification for that, for an ASIC. So they already know that that's going to be the end goal. You know, I say goal. It's probably not a goal, but the end result. So I don't know. Don't know. Don't know what's going to happen. Nobody does, probably, right? So, man, we are like killing it. I don't know what else to do. Let me, I'm going to pull this down here and get that rig back on what it should be on, not mine in some fictitious email address. But I don't see a huge increase from B minor or from G minor to B minor. Yashnik, I know you're like super pushy tonight, but I don't see a huge increase. Maybe like 0.1, 0.2, something like that. And actually it dropped down below 27 just now too. So I don't know, man. I think they're running, it hopped back up to, well, see, there you go. It went back to G minor and now it's even more than it was before. So you might be wrong about that whole B minor thing. It might actually be good. Yeah, that's true. It's about the pool. That's true. But I'm on Spark Pool on this one. Yeah, I don't know. I like the power draw on these though. It's a lot less than most other algorithms. So that's kind of nice. What's the wrong pool, Yashnik? I was on the wrong pool? I don't think so. I think I'm on the right pool. Because right now I'm on this one right here. Nope. I'm on this guy right here, which is Sparkle. So you're saying I should change this to GRIN MW pool, right? But I'm not going to do that. Because I'm getting 27.2 right now. I think I'm good. And I'm getting 100%. But I know. I should be on the pool that you recommend, right? Yes. Killing me tonight. almost got my wife on the live stream. Almost. She's not down with it though. Maybe someday. She was over here yapping about her job though. All right, so is there anything else? I know you're trying to help, Yashnet. I get it. I get it. But you do see that hash rate right there, right? That GPS right there. Right there. The G minor. You do see that, right? 27.2. I was getting 26 with B minor. I don't know. That's what I'm talking about though. They're like fighting, you know. Not fighting, but competing. So that's good. That's good for us miners. Man, we covered a lot. Golly, we did freaking everything. Except for the actual transfer of the funds, you know. The actual transfer of GRIN from like a pool to your wallet. But again, I don't even want to try it until I figure out that whole port issue with whether or not it's 3415 or 3414, because it seems like it would be 3414 for the node and 3415 for the wallet, but I don't know which one you would actually send it to. So I kind of did say that. Freudian slip from the technicals, you know, he's at the AVN thing. So yeah, that's probably where that came from. That's funny. All right. Is it weird that I just have that shirt just sitting over there? All right, what are my NVIDIA cards? This is what my NVIDIA cards are. I have 2 of each. But I don't have 1080 Ti's. They were way too expensive whenever I bought these. I love this shirt. It's a nice shirt. Yeah, I have way too many AMD. I regret it now. I should have put a little bit more money in NVIDIA, but at the time, I mean, it was all Kryptonite and it was all Ethash and, you know, Ethereum Classic and all that stuff. That's why I went with so many AMDs. I only have 34, but I've got co-owned. I don't have a lot of GPUs, to be honest. I mean, these two rigs right here are co-owned. I don't own them outright. They're shared, basically. This one keeps dropping off. I think it's just a network connection, though. But yeah, I've got basically this rig right here is NVIDIA, and then 12 GPU down here at the bottom is AMD. Yeah, I don't even know what, to be honest, I just don't even know. Put them at 400 for, you're saying to put it at 4, I want to say it was 200 and 500 is what I was going to put it at. Yeah, let's try that. So this is, let's go to, we'll put it at 400. See what happens. You never know. I want to get the random coin mining show to be faster at the beginning so that we can actually get into overclock settings. I don't know what y'all think about this. Tell me what y'all think, if we should do that or not. Get into like overclock and checking the hash rates on the pool and things like that, because we never get to that point, because basically the 30 minutes is taking up collecting the information and setting up the miner and actually mining it. But I want to maybe speed it up. Maybe I'll pre-record all that stuff, literally all the way to actually getting a hash rate and accepted shares, and then the show would be more about watching that video and then switching over to see how you would check on your miner to figure out whether or not it's performing well or whatever, and then overclocks and things like that. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. Tell me what y'all think in the comments there. Not the comments, but in the chat. If that's a good idea or not. Alright, so I changed it to 400. Let's see if we get any. I'm going to reboot it. As per Yashnik. I can go get my Boss Coin shirt. You guys love that. So why does Raven Coin sucks balls? I like Raven Coin. It's actually my most viewed video. That's kind of funny. Is how to mine Raven Coin. And everybody always complains about the music in it, because whenever I posted it, I didn't like preview the music part of it. I had it turned way too high, I guess. So it's kind of funny. People complain about it all the time. Yeah, see? 1,800 views. And I got Aeon over here sitting at 714, which isn't too bad. And then the other highly viewed video is the dual threading. It's hilarious. You don't even need that anymore. This one was 37 minutes long. This one was 6. And I did the same thing in both of those videos. It's kind of funny. Huh? Okay. Oh, a GRIN shirt. I need to get that. I don't think he does. I don't think Boss pisses on his shirts. He might though. I don't know. That's funny. Alright guys, I'm gonna have to end the stream, because if I don't, I'll just sit here all night and talk nonsense. But I am gonna buy a GRIN shirt, that's for sure. Thanks for liking the assembly rig video. I've done several of them. The latest one, I believe, yeah, it was all live. It was done live, so that's kind of cool. I've like transitioned. I used to want to do like the production videos and having it look all cool and stuff, but it's so much easier to just fire up the camera, go live, and just record it, and just do it. It's so much easier. Maybe it's because I'm lazy. I don't know. It's probably a big part of it. Alright guys, I'm going to end this right here, because if I don't, it'll just keep going forever. So, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah. Let's see what the memory did. The memory change. Pretty much what I expected. Not a whole lot. I see that so much. I don't know if it's just me or my cards or what, but it seems like once I get it set to one thing, and it's performing well, no matter what I do, it doesn't change. You know, I mean, it's still getting 100%. It's still at 27 something. I just don't think that it's not like the old days where you're really fine-tuning things for fhash. Like, it seems like this algorithm and even things like equihash, it's very little, very minute changes that happen with drastic changes in clocks and things like that. It's just weird. So I don't know. Anyway, there you go. I think we're looking pretty good here. I did switch this back over to mine, right? I'll check that after the stream ends to make sure that it's back on my pool and all that stuff. But anyway, awesome. This has been pretty cool. We covered a lot, man. Golly, a whole lot. 2.5 hours, more than 2.5 hours, and there's still 8 people in here. Crazy. You guys are nuts. All right, guys. I will see y'all. I'll do the random coin mining stream again on Monday, normal time, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and all that stuff. I will see you guys then. Thanks for stopping in and checking this out. This has been super cool. Really long though, and my computer didn't crash, so that's weird. But whatever. All right, guys. I will see y'all Monday. Talk to you later. Stay savage.